Hey everyone, if becoming a real estate mogul is on your bucket list, make sure you keep watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. Hey everyone, my name is Zack Boothe and I help aspiring real estate investors, just like you, understand the strategies and action steps required to make money in all things real estate. Let me know in the comment section below what you've learned so far from being in real estate, your biggest learning lessons. Comment below. Would you believe that I was a struggling window washer for 10 years? Now I have a real estate wholesaling and holding company. I was once a beginner just like you, but I was able to create financial freedom in a handful of years because of real estate investing. When working in real estate, there is a lot of words and terms that are confusing at first. So I'm going to be breaking them down for you one by one. After watching this video, you're going to understand the basics of real estate vocabulary and be one step closer to understanding how to make a lot of money and getting started in this business. There are a few different terms used to describe types of properties. For example, single family. Or SFH stands for single family homes. Our homes that are only for one person is meant to rent or live in it. Other types of properties you may have heard of are townhomes and condos. They're also meant for just one family to live in them. There are some specific differences, of course, but apartments, multifamily homes, or duplexes, triplexes, quadruplexes, 5 units, 6 units, etc. These types of properties allow you for more than one person or more than one family to live in them. Some investors will also say they own or manage X amount of doors and own X amount of properties. For example, they manage or they own 100 doors, but they only own 30 properties. That means they have multiple multifamily deals. Another word that you will hear often is mortgage or financing or note. All kind of the same thing. A mortgage is a loan between you and the bank that allows you to borrow money to purchase a home and gives the lender the right to take your property back if you don't repay the money. So if you want to take out a loan for a house that costs $100,000 and you give the bank 10% down payment of $10,000, you now owe the bank $90,000 for the house plus all the interest. Usually when an investor buys a property with debt, they usually use the terms loan or note in place of mortgage. The financing is actually extremely important, right? The note, the mortgage, in evaluating a deal, whether you're going to keep the property or not. So let's say you can rent the apartment building out for $10,000 a month. Well, you need to make sure that the rent income is going to cover all of your expenses and your monthly payment to the bank. Because if you don't pay the bank, you're going to lose the property. So let's say you make $10,000 a month on the property and you find out your monthly expenses are about $3,000 a month. That's going to cover your taxes, your insurance, your property management, your maintenance fees, and anything else that you might have. So $3,000 a month is gone out of that $10,000. You're left with $7,000. So now you have $7,000 a month to cover the financing. It's very important to understand the financing and how to drop the expense monthly so you can afford to buy more rentals. There are 3 things that is going to affect your financing: your interest rate, the length of the loan, and the price, of course, the size of the loan. So I give you guys a little tool that you can learn and figure out how much total you're going to pay in interest over a 30-year mortgage or a 10-year mortgage. So what you can go is you can Google amortization schedule calculator, and you're going to pull up some free calculators online, and you're going to put how long the loan is for, what the interest rate is, and you're going to be able to calculate, and also the amount. You're going to be able to calculate and see over the long term how much you're going to pay, how much per year you're going to pay in interest, and you can kind of start to learn and see how mortgages are structured and how loans are structured, and kind of get an idea of what you're dealing with getting that kind of debt. Equity is another term you should be familiar with. Equity is the difference between what the property is worth and what you owe on the property. For example, if down the road the same house you bought for $100,000 is now worth $130,000 and you owe the bank $90,000, that means that you have $40,000 in equity, right? 130 minus the $90,000. So be careful that you don't take the equity too serious. For example, you could hire a third-party company to come in and evaluate the value of your home, whether that might be a real estate agent that's trying to list your house, or you could have someone at the bank give you an appraisal, which basically says this is what your property's worth. But ultimately, the only person that can truly say what the property's worth is if you put the house up for sale, and what someone would be willing to pay is what the house is worth. I've had multiple times where my evaluation, my internal evaluation, the bank's evaluations says the house is worth X amount, and I'm not able to find a buyer for that. Or I have buyers come in and pay tens of thousands of dollars more than what the bank says it's worth, right? And so ultimately the person that sets the price is the buyer, not the seller. So I was watching Pawn Stars the other day when I was out and about at a hotel, and there was a guy that had these old ancient swords, and he was certain that each one was worth $10,000, but no one was willing to pay him $10,000 for each sword. Right? And he was getting offers of about $1,000 a sword, but he was so adamant that they were worth $10,000, so he just never sold them, right? So be careful that when you do make an investment, you don't get too caught up in what you think the evaluation is, and be very cautious and be conservative of the equity that you have in your deals, because ultimately what matters is what people are willing to pay for your particular property. Make sure you hit that like button if you are ready for the next word. Now we need to talk about the word cash flow. Let's say you decide to rent or lease your house. Your mortgage payment every month might be, let's say, $600, and maintenance and expenses are about $200 a month. But you're able to rent the house out for $1,000 every month. So the difference between the cost and the income is your cash flow. So $200 in this example is your cash flow. Cash flow is a great thing and helps you make money. Cash flow is one of the many and probably the most popular reason why people buy rental real estate. I like it for other things like tax write-offs and other things, right? And the appreciation, the value of the property going up as well. But cash flow is such a cool thing, because if you can build up enough rental properties, you can have that cash flow cover all of your living expenses. You could get to the point where you could essentially retire, right? If your income, your passive income, is higher than your monthly expenses, right? Like ultimately, that's the goal, is to get out of the jobs that we all hate and in a business that we love and get to pursue things that we enjoy, and not having money be the problem anymore. So one cool activity you could do is sum up all of your expenses and all the lifestyle and what that's going to cost, right? Evaluate your perfect lifestyle and how much that's going to cost you each month. And now you have your goal of what your cash flow needs to be each month to be able to live your best life. And that's a cool activity that I was able to do, and a goal that I've been able to achieve from building a business around finding rentals to build my cash flow. And of course, you've already heard the saying, buy low and sell high. But what does that actually mean? Buy low and sell high, this is definitely something that you need to know. When buying real estate, it's important to recognize that when a property has the potential to be worth more and you're paying less for it, so when you sell it, that means you're making a profit. It's important to have a large enough margin so that there is a tangible benefit in just buying the property. As soon as you buy the property, you are now making money. So most people think that they need to add value to a property before they can get paid. But if you can't buy a property and turn around and sell it completely as is without making a profit, you paid too much for the property. If you're going to be successful in this business, you have to be able to find properties at a low enough discount that it does not matter if you fix them up, if you increase the rent rates. If you can't turn around and sell them to someone else for a profit, you paid too much money. You want to give yourself enough cushion that you make money upon purchase. That's what it means by saying buy low. I'll give you an example. I just bought a house in Vernal last week. I drove down with my crew and we just trashed out, which means we took all the garbage and clutter in the house and threw it in dumpsters, and that is completely it. We're going to turn around and sell that property where there's a vacant lot as well as the house, but just cleaning it out only cost me like $1,500, but we're gonna be able to turn around and sell it. My estimations, of course, it depends on what the buyer will pay, but according to comps and things, I think I could make as much as $100,000 profit selling it as is with no construction, no remodel, no value improvements to the land, just selling it completely how I purchased it. Right, so if you want to be successful in this business, you have to get good at finding discounted properties. Now that you understand a few of the basic terms, you can begin your real estate journey with a lot more confidence and know-how and begin to make your dreams a reality. If you want to learn more about real estate wholesaling, please go book a call with my right hand to learn more. You can click in the link in the bio description to jump on a call with us. I hope this video has been helpful. And be sure to check out my video here on how to build a real estate power team. Thanks everybody. We'll see you in the next one.